I'm now, so I pulled, sorry I didn't get it on video, but this is the shoe for the mast. So the mast sits around the outside of this, and this bolts to the step so that the mast won't move around. So I pulled this off, and this looks actually very good. I just need to clean it. It's white on the bottom just because that's what aluminum does. But everything looks really good on that, which I'm happy about because you can't buy this anymore. I'm now just cleaning up all the debris underneath it, underneath the mast step, so that I'm going to try to yank it out. But if not, I saw on another guy's blog that you put a bottle jack under it and to lift it up, because what happens is it sits in the stringer, in a slot in the stringer on each side, and excuse me, and it basically does this in the stringer where it separates, which means it's wedging itself into the stringer. So I might not be able to pull it out by hand. I might have to use a jack.
Alright, so what you're doing now is just cleaning out the
So I'm cleaning out underneath
junk on the floor. Let's see.
Yeah, so
Oh, look at the trash.
there's
That's
a bunch in the trash.
in there.
And it's just
That's pretty nasty.
a bunch of
corroded metal, huh?
pieces of metal. And I'll get to a point here where I'll have to go to storage and grab my shop vac and vacuum all this out.
Yeah, because we're not going to use the Dyson for that.
No.
Cool.
I'm going to try to pull it out by hand first. It's not even moving. Let me try to get a
better grip on it.
Not even. So, bottle jack time. I went and grabbed a piece of 2x4 because the jack had gotten too high. It wouldn't go up any further, so now we're good again.
Wait. Were you going to measure it first, just in case?
I think that's coming free.
Can hear it. Jim put that board there because he thinks it might break free violently. We also, in the meantime, because he's not sure if it's going to break, he made a little drawing. Oops. And where the holes are and everything, just in case. It looked like it was moving a little bit.
Yeah, it's moving.
Moving!
Definitely moving.
Yeah, finally. It's kind of up off of the thing there, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna come and do this side now.
So how many jacks are we on? 3? There's 2 sitting there. And... How's it going? Is it moving?
It's moving.
So it's now 7:30. What time did we start this? It's been a few hours. We had to stop and get dinner. And a different jack.
We haven't had much success with just using the bottle jack, so grab some pry bars and I'm gonna give that a whirl. And I'm gonna put some gloves on.
Yeah, gloves is a good idea. I have this feeling that this thing's going to come up in chunks. I also have a feeling I don't want to sit here. It's ridiculous because right there you can see like all the layers. Focus, there you go. All the layers of like corroded metal. Like it's not even one piece anymore. You got some leverage, huh?
This thing's just like so corroded.
Yeah, it's just like crumbling. Okay, we're on to a new plan. Grinding off the side of the thing. It's really nasty in there. Just like fiberglass dust everywhere. It's awful. So now that you've done your grinding and kind of dug that out a little bit, you're trying the jack again?
Yeah.
What are you thinking at this point? How's it coming?
Wish it was going easier. Alright, to heck with it. We're not going to get it out in one piece, so out comes the Sawzall. So, alright, I just cut the... Basically, what was going on is I'm having problems getting out of here. So, out of the stringer, so I'm just going to cut it, and then I'm either going to cut the stringer open, and just like as close as I can to it, and then fill it with epoxy. Or we're gonna try to like wiggle it out, so like one side at a time. We'll see how this all works, but I need to cut out about here and here on this piece as well. So that's where we're at right now. I got the top cut off now, and then I cut a piece in here, just a piece out, and we're gonna try to I'll pull up on that somehow, or try to like wiggle it out one side at a time instead of trying to fight both sides at once. Yeah. What's happening, and the problem is, and you kind of see it right here, is, you can see it here too. So as that was shoved in there, the metal started to separate, and it wedged itself in there, kind of like, best way I can explain is kind of like a redhead, how you would drill a hole in concrete and put a redhead in there and then screw it down, and it would expand into the concrete, and then they're pretty much, you can't get them out unless you cut the heads off of them and then just you leave them. So I think that's kind of what's happening. We're going to try to wiggle it out a little bit at a time.
Movement?
No. We're finally getting this thing to move. So I pushed it up once, and then I just hit it back down with a hammer. I'll put my gloves on. I just hit it back down with a hammer, and I'm going to do the same thing again, and I'm going to keep just kind of wiggling it and trying to break all the stuff up in there until it finally breaks free. And it's not easy to get it to move because these scissor jacks are, this thing's only meant for a little car. A little boat step. Yeah. That thing moving.
Yeah. Your genius idea was to use the scissor jack.
What was your idea?
Sometimes I have good ideas.
Although I did try to use it the other day, but didn't have enough power with the whole to push the whole thing up.
Look at that, we definitely got moving.
Alright, so I'm going to hit it back down. I'm going to back it back off, hit it back down again. Alright, now back to the jack again.
Oop.
That's what I didn't want to happen.
Well, what happened?
The scissor jack slipped.
Is it okay?
Huh? If I keep doing it, it's just going to slip more, and then...
Well, isn't it time to hammer? Is it hammer time?
The other thing I can do is get a piece of metal and put it under there so it's at a little bit of an angle. In case it... Oh, I'm breaking the fiberglass. Yeah, I can't do that.
Okay. That was just a thought.
Whoa.
You're breaking fiberglass too. The wood's cracking now.
That's because the wood is no good.
Try the... Yeah, some more. They're still moving it.
Yeah. It's gonna slip off soon. Jack's gonna slip.
There you go.
Called that, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. Now try hammering.
Hammering which way?
The same way that it's already going. Get it out of there now.
There it is.
Piece number 1.
That sucker was in there.
How do you feel?
I don't know. I feel like I want to get the other one out of there. And in an attempt to not break it, I'm going to put it back down again.
So we are now using our neighbor's jack because the one from my car bent.
Yeah,
Bent, right? But this one seems to be moving. This side, anyway, seems to be moving. Nice motion there.
It's just like plywood.
And it's out. I'm gonna have to get it from the other side though.
What time is it?
Like almost 4. Yeah.
All day. And some of yesterday. This stringer looks good here. This one looks good. That one.
Definitely.
It actually doesn't. I mean, it doesn't seem that bad. But we'll have the wood boat expert look at that.
We do have a one boat expert, don't we?
Yep. I cut it right there, and it wasn't even close to where I needed to cut it.
Oops.
Alright, so the next day, so to avoid getting a bunch of fiberglass all over the place while I'm cutting into the stringer, I've made this contraption out of a piece of plastic that we had. Should work, hopefully. And I'm not going to tape me cutting into the stringer because it's just going to be too dusty and stuff. I don't want to get that all over the camera. So I will show you once I'm done. I've been sitting here for a little while now already. I'm basically just cutting out the old stringers. This one on this side is already just fiberglass, and then there's part of the old stringer there. On this side I have one layer left to do. I've already cut this way and this way. Now I just need to cut the bottom and then peel it out. And then I also still need to cut out the bottom portion of it. And then we will put a heater here to let the other portions of it dry. And then we will start making making the new one.
We had to cut some extra out of the floor, which made it very hard to walk across. So now Peter gave us a nice plywood to be a temporary floor whilst we are working. So Jim's in there. He is working on cutting out more of the stringer because more of the floor ended up needing to be pulled up. They kept finding more wet spots as they went to starboard side, I think, or maybe the port side or both. I'm not really sure. I had been out of the boat working on editing a wedding when they were testing for wet spots. So now Jim's got a suit on and he is working on tearing out more stringer. And that's not all you can see. This stuff is really nasty. Done?
Hurting my eyes.
Do you need anything?
No, I think like this. Really rotted.
Yeah. Well, that would make sense then that it's like coming from the mast, right? Because that's really close to where the mast was.
No, it's here. Just digging out the rest of the stringer, and it's like that's
Pretty rotten.
yeah.
Pretty soupy looking down there.
Yeah, it's super wet. Definitely wasn't coming from here though, because if you look at, this is all epoxy underneath it. So it's up off of the ground. Although,
look at that sunset. It was a rough day. It was so hot. But wow. What a way to cap it off. What do you got?
I am building the stringer now. I'm trying to get it to fit as tight as I possibly can as it goes in. But I didn't cut these straight, so I need to do some planing and stuff and figure out what to do. Yeah, it's a little warm. I'm sweating my butt off. Maybe just hold it apart. Here's a quick look at the stringer before I epoxied it, just clamped together. I think it came out pretty good. Hey, so I've been really bad about recording what I'm doing with the stringer, and this camera's about full, the other one's dead, so I just wanted to give you a quick update. So I have this thing epoxied in, and this third member here that is sitting across, going across to the old one, and it's also epoxy to it, and those are stainless screws. And then, so this is how the original one was, so I pulled off that whole one, cut out all of the rot, and now I am cutting the holes for the step. What I'm using here is called zinc chromate. It adheres to the aluminum on the Mast shoe to prevent corrosion. We also put a layer of paint down on top of that.
Don't worry, I zoomed. And now I said it. Why are you not using your respirator? I can see it going right up to your face.
I'm not breathing. I'm holding my breath.
Jim's getting suited up to... What are you doing? You're grinding?
Yeah, I need the respirator. I'm just grinding down some of this stuff so I can get the next layer on.
Of the fiberglass.
Yeah.
We haven't been getting any fiberglassing videos because I can't be in here when he's doing that with the fumes and stuff. So that's where we're at.
You got everything? If you're gonna be in here?
I'm not. Alright, what do you got?
I'm just cutting a piece off for the next layer. This woven stuff is really hard to cut, so I went out and bought some scissors for cutting heavy cloth.
So what is the tape for?
Tape is to hold the woving together. The wovenness.
The weave. Katie the boat dog has to hang out outside of the boat today because the fumes are not good for her. She's not very happy about it, as you can tell. But since I need to help Jim today, I can't take her anywhere like we've been doing for the past few days. So she just has to sit out here. So we're getting to the end of this project, right? Getting there?
Yeah.
And Jim has got the stringer rebuilt, and we have the mast step that my brother made us at Redline Engineering. And now Jim's just trying to get it to fit in there. Kind of just shaving out. He had to cut that extra side of the stringer because he rebuilt it, so he's just trying to get everything to fit in there straight and flat as it can.
And here's the finished product. I did some cleanup after the mast went in. I think it came out pretty well. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to subscribe, check out our Patreon page, and check out more videos.